Hey guys, welcome to the daily analysis for January 14th. It is another Monday and another trading week off and ready. And so this week, I'm pretty excited for some potential setups and potential market conditions. I'm already, pretty pleased with how the market has moved so far in 2013, just half of a month through the new year. And already I've seen some really nice moves. Obviously, those of you who have been following the analysis have seen the moves that we've been looking at. And so it's been a great trading few weeks already, and I'm looking forward to a lot of continuation of that. And so I just want to talk to you today about some of the weekly potential that I see based on the first day of the week. Starting with the USDCAD, you can see that we're finally looking to break through that level. Obviously not a very strong break, so we'll see what happens in the future. There's a few other things like that, areas that have been sitting for a while that are starting to make some moves, and I'm pretty excited to see what's going to happen and how much of that we can take advantage of, as traders. So that's what to look forward to in the daily analysis. And obviously, before we jump into that, we want to cover our news and see what we got going on there. And then, as always, have a quick look at our terms before we get back on the charts. All right, guys. For news, the main thing to look out for is that 8:30 U.S. dollar news, core retail sales, PPI, retail sales, all of that stuff hitting at 8:30 for the U.S. dollar is going to be a big announcement. Obviously, early in the year, that should have a pretty large effect on the U.S. dollar if there's a decent deviation there. Retail sales is a pretty nice indicator of how an economy is doing, how much money people are spending. So that's something that is definitely worth taking a look at. And if there's a huge deviation in the amount of money being spent in the retail area, that can definitely affect the view of the U.S. dollar, and something worth noting. Outside of that, it's pretty basic news and nothing that's too alarming. But at that 8:30 time where all those announcements hit, definitely want to look at those U.S. dollar crosses and see what we get. Okay, guys, and then quickly our terms just basically say that we're not registered or licensed by any legal authority to give investment advice. In other words, we didn't fill out any paperwork to be allowed to give you investment advice and tell you how to risk your money. We're just a website that's here, using our own opinions and thoughts on the market as an educational experience for you, and nothing more than that. Okay, so if you need to read through those more permanently and more thoroughly, please just pause the video and read through those, and I would jump back into the charts right now. Okay, guys, and as I mentioned, the USD CAD is one of the pairs I've been really tracking, even though it's not been exciting. We talked about the congestion here, just sitting and not making a lot of movement. And really what I want from the USD CAD is just to see some more momentum. That's really the main issue here. There's a lack of momentum in recent weeks. And, the USD CAD is a pair that can really trend nicely if it gets going, and we just haven't seen that very much. Since this reversal point, we did have a pretty good move up. But even within this first leg up, a lot of stall bars, a lot of congestion and indecision. So when the USD CAD, finally makes a good break, I don't want to miss that, and so that obviously requires tracking the pair even as it's doing less exciting moves. And so you can see that it finally did make a little bit of a break below this level today. Again, not a power bar certainly by any stretch, but if we get something, if we get a surge of momentum tomorrow or the next day after that, and we get a little bit of room to make some trades, some momentum and some trending where we can target the bottom of this area on a pullback, something like that, the USD CAD could be a great high probability pair, because as you can see in moves like these, every pullback is a great opportunity, and so then you just make money because of the way the market's moving. You don't have to be an incredibly skilled trader to find precision points. You just know that the market is moving, that the USD CAD is a downtrend, and until you see something like this happen, you're going to be taking shorts. And so when those type of trends develop, it's a lot easier to make money, and obviously we look for those places where it is easy to make money. So hopefully something like that's going to develop soon on the USD CAD. You can only speculate and hope, and at this point I'm not suggesting that you try to guess when it's going to start and try to get the beginning of the trend, but rather the opposite. You wait for that trend to appear and to create itself, and then just look to take advantage. So as I'm watching the USD CAD, I'm just waiting. Obviously, I do want to take advantage of the move as early as possible, but I don't want to try to get too fancy and guess at it. I just want to look for some momentum, look for some clear technical signs, and then try to take advantage of the movement. So USD CAD, potential break here, very small, not a lot of momentum, and continuation by any stretch, but perhaps something in the making. All right, guys. Euro dollar, obviously, this incredible bar that we talked about a few days ago was followed through pretty nicely. You can see that price broke through right here at 133, and now we're kind of at the top of this channel. And so it'll be interesting to see if this is actually going to break out and steepen higher, get above 135, and really, target some even higher prices. This 135 area is a pretty major level to keep an eye out for. So if it does break, even if it breaks through here, you want to keep an eye on the next level. But more likely, I think that the euro dollar is probably going to pull back and continue this channel. I mean, it's been pretty consistent so far. There's really no reason for me not to think that we're going to get a nice pullback and be looking long again. Now, at the same token, I don't look to short the top of a channel in an upward channel because, it could, even if it does get some bearish movement, it could just stay on the bottom of this channel, and then I'm in a short as price just gradually rises, which I have no interest in doing. So even though I think there's a pretty nice potential here for a pullback, I'm not going to be shorting. I'm going to be waiting for the pullback and then looking for a long, and that's just part of the way I trade the market. So that's what I'm looking for in the euro dollar. Ready to see if we do get that pullback, and I'm pretty excited for getting long again if it pulls back right into this area, especially if it comes down, hits the double support here from the trend line in the horizontal area, and then I'll look to get long here. So that's one of the things I think has a high potential there, and I'm pretty excited about taking advantage of. Okay, that's euro dollar. Let's take a look at pound. Alright guys, so here's the pound dollar. Interestingly enough, the pound dollar came right back down after its big bar, while the euro continued to make higher highs. And when we look at the euro pound, you can certainly see the reflection of the euro strength and the pound weakness as the euro pound just soared. So the pound, another retest of this level. I'm actually currently long on the pound dollar right now. Got in pretty close to this trend line, a few pips above the trend line as the rejection started happening. And the reason for the trade was simply the risk-reward ratio. When we get a test like this and it begins to bounce, it's not an extremely high probability trade because many times it's going to test and then poke much lower through the trend line, even if it is going to go up. But it's a lower probability trade with an incredible risk to reward because you can hide your stop, or not hide, but get your stop right up close and target your next level. And so you have 6 to 1, 7 to 1, 8 to 1, 10 to 1 risk to reward ratio. So if you have a 25 or 30% chance of winning the trade with a 7 or 10 to 1 risk reward ratio, the math obviously lines up for a very good trade possibility. So that's what I did on the pound dollar, long a little bit lower here, and already up close to 1 to 1 on the risk reward there. So that's why it's worth taking the trade in that situation. You can lock your stop into break even to protect yourself. And then look for a much bigger win, which is one strategy that many people do on bounce type trades like that. But anyway, that's the pound dollar. It's bouncing now. Obviously, for those of you who look to see continuation like I do in a lot of situations, you're probably waiting on this. You want to see a bullish bar form now inside and start moving up, and then you want to take your trade from here to here, which I think is a great strategy. In this opportunity, there was just a great risk reward, and I took advantage of it. And we'll see if it works out, but that's not necessarily the only way or even the best way to trade. It depends on your strategy and your plan. So pound dollar looking to start moving up towards this level again. Definitely wouldn't put it past it to get a sharp retest of this level, as many people probably are jumping in long as I am, which is something that you'll have to watch out for. But anyway, looking to head up toward that 163. For my sake, we'll hope it continues and gets up there. And guys, I mentioned the euro strength with the pound weakness. You can see what it did in the euro pound here. Just an unbelievable move on the euro pound. I'm honestly blown away by these three bars. I just, the euro pound is not a pair that can typically explode like that because of the close relationship of the euro and the pound. But this move is just really incredible. We got long all the way down here. Those of you who watch the analysis, probably many of you got long all the way down here. And I thought a pretty nice, maybe even aggressive target was to expect it to get to this new high. But obviously, it shot right through there. This would have been one, any of you who decided to go with a trailing stop method because it's a trend continuation, you might have wanted to see how high it could go, are sitting in very nice shape right now because this is just a bullet to the upside. The euro pound does not move a lot in terms of pips, and you can see that since our entry down here, this is over 200 pips. And I would tell you that if you capture 200 pips on the euro pound, that's just an excellent trade. And so I'm just really amazed by this euro pound. We talk about overextended, and I gave my spiel before about just because a pair is overextended does not mean that you should take the other direction. That's just not good trading logic. But as you can see, the euro pound looking very overextended right now. So we'll see if we get a little retrace, or if this just slaps the people in the face who are trying to short and catch the reversal before it happens. Those are always interesting to me because half the time, you get it's so steep that people begin shorting it, and somehow it finds a way to get even steeper and go higher. And then there's the other times where it's like that sentiment thing kicks in, where it's shooting up and people are actually going along with it, and then it reverses. And so that's what the market does to people. It plays tricks on people. It crushes people. It certainly seems to really hit you hard if you try to outsmart it and guess where it's going to go next without any kind of evidence. So that's what the market does, and the euro pound very high right now. Now, one thing is that it's at 83.20, which is a pretty nice resistance level, so I wouldn't be surprised with at least a small pullback here. But with that said, I'm certainly not looking to short into a power move, even if I do think it might be ready for a pullback. But just again, I just am in amazement at this chart, just the way that it's rallied straight up. It's pretty incredible that the euro can be that strong with the pound being that weak. As I say all the time, with a similarity there, you just don't expect that steep of a move to happen. And so then, needless to say, if we do get a full pullback all the way back to this trend line, you know that I will be looking for longs off of this trend line all day. Okay, so that's euro pound. Okay, I will just quickly cover AUDUS because there's just not much for me to say on it. It's still in an area that I'm not looking to trade, and the main components for that is because it's moving slightly upward on a downward trend line, which is an issue that I never like to trade, because that means that you have a downward trend line like this and it's trying to move up, but it keeps coming down, and even though you get upward moves, sometimes it tends to move down over the grand scheme of things, which obviously puts you in a losing proposition. And so I avoid that. And the other thing is that we're still right at this level, which is that that previous high that it has not yet touched since this period where it broke down. It has not got to that level. So a couple things there. The odd just still ranging. It's frustrating because it made some good breaks and whatnot, but it hasn't actually had any strong continuation or anything like that. So not a lot of possibilities for trading on the odd dollar, unfortunately. But we'll keep waiting, we'll keep being patient, and then when there's an opportunity to trade it, I will certainly alert you that I'm looking into it and let you know what's going on there. All right, and then here's a shocking picture of the US yen still going up. It's pretty. I mean, I'm blown away, guys. I don't even know how to do analysis on this, to be honest with you. It just keeps going higher. It's not that it can't get to 90 or 91 or 92 or it can't get to 100. It's the way that it's getting there, just with bullish bar after bullish bar. There's 2 red bars for every 9 blue bars on the chart. It's just unbelievable the pace that it's heading. So I have no analysis for this. When it pulls back to a good level, we'll be looking to go long. But as far as current condition, it's just watch and be amazed, because there's no way to put a Fibonacci level on there and expect it to do anything other than just go up. So that's the US yen. I'm really amazed at the market conditions, but it's certainly something I'm excited about, because obviously as a trader, I love when the market's moving. I want the market to move, because without movement, it's impossible to make money. But when it's moving like this and you're not already long, there's not a lot you can do other than watch and be amazed. But again, obviously, if it pulls back into support, I'll be looking for long positions. Certainly no doubt about that. Okay, guys. So that's the US yen, and that'll sum up my analysis. I guess getting to a pair where I can't do the analysis is a good place to stop. So I hope you guys enjoyed the analysis. If there was any pairs that I didn't cover that you wanted to cover, because I only hit a few, just leave those in the comments below, and I'll try to hit those tomorrow. And as always, guys, I appreciate the support and you watching, and comments and Twitter shares and retweets and Facebooks and LinkedIn's and all that stuff that you guys do to help us get the analysis out there is really appreciated. And we can't value it enough. We just really appreciate it. Oh, and speaking of Twitter, I got a link to that Brad tweet. I had got a cool tweet today that I wanted to link to, and it's from Brad. He said he's up 8% last week was up 8% from following some of the daily analysis signals that we were talking about. So congratulations to Brad, and I'll let you guys follow him on Twitter if you want by throwing his link below, because that's pretty cool. All right, so that's it for the daily analysis, guys. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you soon.